When a woman rules, streams run uphill. This Ethiopian proverb has been taken to heart by African nations, where women have been appointed as leaders of legislative bodies on the continent. According to the Interparliamentary Union, Africa is fast making progress in the appointment of female heads of parliament. In South Africa, since 1994, Parliament has been led by 5 female speakers of the National Assembly and 3 female chairpersons of the National Council of Provinces. Dr. Frini Ginwala was the first Speaker of the National Assembly from 1994 to 2004. Ginwala, who passed away in January, has been described as a speaker who transformed Parliament to an institution that served its people. She was also known for her advocacy of women's rights.
She really made a mark, and particularly in the cause of gender rights in South Africa, always championing the rights of women in the ANC, ensuring that it was high up on the agenda.
In the National Assembly, Ginwala was followed by Baleka Mbete, then Gwen Mahlangu Nkabinde. She was succeeded by Democratic South Africa's only male speaker, Maxi Sulu. Then Mbete again, followed by Thandi Modise and the current speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula. Female chairs in the National Council of Provinces were Dr. Naledi Pandor, Joyce Hoali and Thandi Modise. The IFP says South Africa has always been a trendsetter in appointing female presiding officers.
In these periods of their appointment, they have carried out their duties remarkably and have been firm on the chair, but fair. And I think it's a credit to South Africa and Parliament that female presiding officers could have been appointed. We need to see more females being appointed at other levels, at the Deputy Speaker level, and even at levels of chairpersons of committees, and in all influential positions. Because from my experience and the experience of the IFP, the women parliamentarians have always excelled and carried themselves out diligently and true to their calling.
Other members of Parliament have also commented on being led by these women.
Being a member of the National Assembly since 1994, I would say that the best speaker since 1994 was Dr. Frini Ginwala. She was a competent person. She had gravitas. She ensured that the discipline be maintained in the National Assembly, and she protected the decorum of the National Assembly. The administration in Parliament was also well done and of a high standard. I also want to refer to Thandi Modise when she became the Speaker for a short while. Unfortunately, she didn't complete the term. She became the Minister for Defence, but Thandi Modise also had the gravitas in Parliament to ensure that there's more discipline. She also tried the best to protect the decorum of the National Assembly.
In 2015, I worked closely. I had the privilege of accompanying Speaker Baleka Mbete to an official visit. I think we went to China, a parliamentary official visit to China. That's where I saw her in action as a diplomat. She's an outstanding diplomat. She knows how to operate and work in diplomatic circles. And I admired that a great deal about her, and I learned a lot from her, especially about the work I do continentally with human rights and so on. The same can be said with the former NCOP chair and former Speaker Thandi Modise. I worked with her very closely when we were establishing the BRICS Parliamentary Forum. When things were about to fall apart, she's the one who, through her, initiated a lot of strategic bilateral meetings between India and South Africa, between India and many other BRICS countries, to try and make sure that we're able to forge a common vision for the future. I work with Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula now at IPU level, International Parliamentary Union, where at all these platforms, on all these platforms, we always prioritize South Africa. We're about and for South Africa. We forget about our political labels.
MPs say these leaders are owed a debt of gratitude, saying not only did they make a contribution to the liberation struggle, but they also continue to play a role towards strengthening and enhancing the country's constitutional democracy. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.